you seen enough so far to think that your team can be there again, as you like to say, next season, contending at the top?
It's too early to say, but I saw many good things that I didn't see in the past, especially where we were, the relation between the players, and our captains helps a lot, and the staff, backroom staff, is sadness because I felt that we were happy here. We were in the training sessions have been really good, all of them. But the level in these competitions, World Cup, and I said, yeah, the only regret a little bit, I have to review the game a little bit, is that we allowed them to run a little bit more than expected. But the team had defense so deep, the wingers have been brilliant, the chances that we had in many departments, the Bono, again, make a lot of saves. So, and at the end, you know, you have to score, you have to, you know, to be clinical and kind of care the few they arrive, because at the end, yeah, in transitions they arrive more, but before of that we were, I would say we were really, didn't create the first half, didn't arrive much, and we create a lot, and unfortunately we could not score the goals that we deserve. Or we deserve is unfair, because of course I'll go through deserve it. It's just the fact that I had the feeling that we could go through.
All right, so there's what Pep Guardiola had to say. And
it's incredible how much he cares that he's eliminated from the Club World Cup. You could see how ridden he is by being eliminated from this tournament. Yeah,
glowing with disappointment and frustration. But Justin, I mean, we've been so high on Manchester City throughout this competition in the group stage. There had been a lot of rotation, what we were seeing. Based on how the match played out yesterday, what do you think City take away from this loss to Al Hilal? How did you see it?
I think the new signings, you have to look at that, what they've been able to bring to the team, to bring them to the attack. I felt the game played out how it's played out. City played the way City play, and I feel they've improved. Early stages, they've improved. Attacking-wise, they've made forward runs instead of just going side to side, slow tempo, not being able to play through teams. I felt like really in this tournament and in this game, for sure, you've seen more penetrating runs from the midfield. You've seen balls playing forward into the midfield, into the runners, good timing, good speed of play. And I feel that will put them in good stead for the start of the season. Yes, it's going to take time. Like Pep Guardiola's teams, they never really start getting going until January, but I feel they're in good stead to lead them into the start of the season. And more not, they're going to have a holiday now. They're going to have a break, which is what they need.
So, Nico, no cause from concern. What do you take from that yesterday?
No, listen, I think there are two realities here, and I think this is the dichotomy that we've been living with the entire Club World Cup. The desire and motivation from the non-European teams versus the nonchalance that the European teams have treated this tournament with. I think that's a reality, and we see it play out, and we talked about it. We didn't think it was a big possibility, but Al Hilal does have some desire, and if that motivation that allowed them to go toe-to-toe with Real Madrid came to the forefront against Manchester City, they might have a chance. And that's what happened yesterday. Sure, we can ask questions about City and all that stuff, but I'm not going to get the answers to my questions that I have about Manchester City. I don't think this is a failure. Sure, it's a massive disappointment, but how much do they care for this to be a failure? This much, tiny.
It doesn't give you any indication.
Chiquitito, none. You know what's going to give me an indication? Come Boxing Day, come New Year's Eve kickoff, and where Manchester City is. That's the real thing. Like,
of course.
So Pep's walking away from this saying, oh boy, we guys, there's so many games we lost in the Club World Cup. What a shame we don't play 3 more games. We get to go on vacation early.
And I think it's only good that they've got the signings in early, and we've seen them early on, and they got to bed them in, and now they've got a full, half a pre-season to bring the new players into the start of the season, and you know how they're going to be.
So with these new signings and the changes that we saw, because throughout this Club World Cup, we did see City flux a little bit with what their midfield was doing, how they were utilizing their wingbacks. How did it change yesterday in this game, or even throughout the game? Did you notice anything tactically that they switched up?
I don't think tactically I saw anything differently, really. Just the same. City play City. They don't change. Yeah. They don't change. I think bringing Rodri in, I think from the start, in the second half, they brought Rodri in. I think that kind of, he's a key. He's a key for them. And I feel what they should have done was bring Shirky in a lot earlier than they did. He's a game changer. And you clearly saw that in extra time. He come on, created an assist, and he's definitely going to be a game changer.
Well, Nico, you said it. The passion and the fight and the commitment from the non-European teams has been evident throughout this entire competition. Look no further than how the Brazilian teams have done. And now we get to see a matchup between Al Hilal and Fluminense. How do you see this one playing out? And how likely is it right now in your mind that we see a Brazilian team make the final? Is that crazy to say at this point?
I think it would be improbable, but this Club World Cup has proven that improbable is very possible. Listen, one of Al Hilal or Fluminense is going to be in the semifinal of the Club World Cup, and that's already drenched in merit. None of us would have said that Al Hilal would have been in a semifinal of a Club World Cup.
Just pull our predictions from last week.
I want to give this club its flowers because they are no minnow. They're a giant of the region, a giant in the Middle East, a 100%. Giant in Asia, the Real Madrid of Saudi Arabia. They signed Neymar for a record transfer fee. And then they got better once they got rid of him, right? Mm-hmm. He was barely playing. They had to reinvent themselves. And there's a lot of virtue in that. And it's incredible to see. Obviously, it helps when you have a lot of money that you're able to buy a Neymar for that amount of money and then kind of fix the issues once he's gone or at least isn't playing.
But Al Hilal probably the team least concerned about the
money,
on
right?
This competition.
Absolutely right. Regardless, we had our conversation. Look at this lineup. We had our conversation. Players in their prime, right? Milinkovic-Savic, Yassine Bono yesterday, showing how elite he still is,
insane
despite leaving Spain, right? He's still at the top of his game. And yesterday we talked about emerging leagues, and I just feel like this is a glimpse of what, for example, a Major League Soccer could be if all reins are let off with the spending and the roster 100%. Regulations. Obviously, this is almost an exaggeration because no MLS club can just like tap into their oil money and be like, all right, spend, and get 5 players in their prime. But it's an example of what an emerging league, especially the best team in that emerging league, can do to be able to compete with some of the best teams in Europe.
Justin, what's your take been on the Saudi Pro League and how much it's grown and how much Al Hilal and the Saudi Pro League as a whole can benefit from them going far in this competition, even if for nothing more than just putting this team in this league even more on the map? It's
put the team on the map. It's put the club, the tournament, the Saudi League on the map for sure. They're signing world-class players. They're signing, and it's not just players that are retiring, it's younger players now they're getting in. And I mean, when you can spend X amount of money and throw wages that, you know, players can only dream of, players are definitely going to go there.
Life-changing money.
Yeah, life-changing money. So players are going to go there.
Well, and not just players,
and
but
experience
top managers,
as well. Top managers now, they're bringing in top managers. So teams and clubs are only going to get better.
Right.
And it's going to be a problem.
I wonder, and this is completely, I'm speaking out of ignorance because I'm not a specialist in the Saudi Pro League. I wonder how the Saudi players, the Saudi Arabian players in the Saudi League grow along with all of these superstars that come, right?
But because playing with better players, you're going to get better as a player. So the players in Saudi League from Saudi are going to get better playing with better players.
Right.
And they're going to also be exposed to all the different styles and tactics that all these superstars are bringing in. Not only that their individual skills are adding to a roster or to a game plan training, but then what the managers are able to do with those kinds of players. Because you can play so differently with the roster that Al Hilal rolled out with than you can with different players.
Right.
It gives you a little tactical twist.
Yeah, I wonder how you can evaluate that. I compare it always to Major League Soccer, right? Sure, you bring a superstar here or there, it's going to make everybody play a little bit better. But the average American player in Major League Soccer compared to the average Saudi Arabian player in the Saudi Pro League, how do you compare the two? I don't know. I don't have enough metrics to evaluate that. But the
you
best
think it
players,
starts before they get to that level?
What do you mean?
And the development of it, or the team are playing
perhaps. Of course, it comes from the academy. It comes from the whole football infrastructure. But I wonder if this model of getting a lot of players in their prime, perhaps stifling some up-and-coming Saudi players, because what if there was a good attacking midfielder, a good midfielder, and Milinkovic-Savic is starting over him? I wonder if that's really helping the growth of the middle of the pack players in Saudi? I don't know. I ask because we have similar problems in Major League Soccer.
Single league,
Yeah,
every
'cause they're
single
gonna bring
league,
the best
because
players.
if you raise
Not
the
in Spain,
salary
for
standard,
example. Not in La Liga. I think La Liga does an incredible, and Spain and Italy as well, Germany as well.
yeah,
It
but
does an
wouldn't you say that it attributes to the academy systems and how they're brought up, as they're being able to compete like that?
Yeah, but even in the first teams as well, yes, but also the first teams as well develop incredible players, and it allows in Spain, you're having Spanish players that blossom in the teams all around the top flight. So that was just a philosophical question.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is the model that helps grow Saudi players or it helps grow the Saudi league.
I think the league.